Hello. Before we start today's episode, if you would like a condensed version of what I'm talking about in this podcast, go ahead and subscribe to The Perfectionist Guide. You can read the entire thing in 3 minutes or less. To access this, go to CourtneyLoveGavin.com/newsletter. Are you a bit of a perfectionist, type A, hyper performer? Then you know that having the audacity to see an ideal and bring it into reality while breaking generational habits of hustle can be tough, but it doesn't have to be. If you are ready to burn bright instead of burning out, to lead without losing yourself, and to enjoy the life you have worked so hard to create, then keep listening. I'm your host, America's leader on rewiring perfectionism, CLG, and this is Perfectionism Rewired, the podcast. Welcome to Perfectionism Rewired. This is episode number 63, Sculpting Your Self-Concept. Your self-concept is what is it that you want to believe about yourself or that you want to think about yourself that will help you get to where you want to go. Your self-concept is where you get that deep confidence in yourself that is unshakable, that higher self-confidence. Once you get it, you can't ever go backwards. So what the fuck is a self-concept? A self-concept is the collection of thoughts you have about yourself. And these thoughts make up your beliefs about who you are. Your self-concept hums in the background of your life 24/7 on autopilot. Your self-concept creates your experience in the world. It's human tendency to look outside of yourself to confirm, validate, or define who you are, which is why I love sculpting our self-concepts, because it is a big middle finger to all of that and says, new rules, motherfucker. I decide who I am and I confirm it and I validate it. All of us have preconceived ways of understanding who we are and the kind of person that we are. For example, maybe that is part of your self-concept. I'm lazy. I'm a perfectionist. I'm a procrastinator. I'm a very extroverted person. If you believe that success requires sacrifice, your success will always come at a cost. If you believe I must prove my worth, you will forever spend your life earning approval. If you believe that time equals value, you'll always be limited in your results and feeling like you need more time. All of those are part of our self-concept that informs what we are primed to think about ourselves and everything that occurs to us in the world. The actions that we do on the daily come from the way that we see ourselves. So if you hold the identity of, I maybe sort of kind of can handle things sometimes, you will reflect that. And your results will be, I maybe kind of handle things sometimes. Versus if you have the self-concept of, I am capable, I figure everything out, you're going to have very different results in your life. Before we start developing our self-concept, we want to get clear with where are you right now? What are we working with? What's already in the mix? If you're cooking, we want to see, well, what ingredients do we already have and what needs to be thrown out of the fridge because it is rank? What do you think about yourself now? This is your current self-concept. I didn't even know that a self-concept was a thing. I operated on default based on what other people had told me my entire life, like, this is who you are. You're a perfectionist. You're an overachiever. You're really good at this. All of my validation was external. I didn't even know I could decide what I wanted to think about myself. If you stripped everything away from you and you couldn't define yourself using anything you do or have done or you possess, or where you are from, who are you? Outside of being a parent, an entrepreneur, an executive, a daughter, a son, a writer, a volunteer, a spouse, a widow, who are you? If you are unsure what the answer is, that's just because you've never learned this before. Self-concept starts with complete acceptance with where you are. So step one to sculpting your self-concept is to set a timer for 5 minutes. You can use the questions that I just asked you and write I am. We don't want it to be anything lofty. We want to get it all out on the table. Some of your things that come up could be I am creative, or I tend to not follow through on things. We just want to get all of these things out there. Everything, even the stuff that you're like, oh, I don't really want to admit this to anyone. This is just for you to see and for you to become more conscious, more aware, and accepting of where you are right now. When you look at all the thoughts that you have written down about yourself, everything that makes up your current self-concept, step two is for you to ask yourself, does this help you feel whole and complete? Or do you feel a little bit of lack? We can't think our way out of this. If we could think our way to a new self-concept, if that were true, we would all have everything that we wanted. But it's the feelings and the feeling state that produces all of our results. So sculpting your self-concept, you are owning and claiming your own power, and that starts with courage and connection with yourself. Perfectionism not required. The way that I like to look at your self-concept is it's like you're learning a language. Yes, you can use words, but then you need to string them together in a sentence. It takes a bit before the new words are integrated into your memory and you can be fluent. When your self-concept is a version of, I'm not where I want to be, I'm not there yet, your brain cock blocks itself from seeing how you're already there. When we feel that we don't have enough, we create more lack and we are blind to the evidence of more. That is like trying to grow your checking account by multiplying by 0. What happens when you multiply 1 million by 0? You get 0. It's the same thing when we have a really shit-tastic self-concept. Now it's time for step 3, the most fun part. This is where you get to write and author your own self-concept for who it is you are deciding that you are. Let's say you're applying for jobs and you apply for 20 jobs and you get rejected from all of them. If you have a self-concept of, I am extremely capable at what I do and I have tons of value to offer, when you get all of those rejections, it's not going to sting as much, right? But when you have a self-concept of, I'm only as good as the job that I have, that's going to crush you. That's going to be crushed. You're like, I'm not that good. I'm a fraud. If that's your self-concept, then yeah, it's gonna hurt when you get all those rejections. But if you know who the fuck you are, then you become untouchable by the outside world. And you become really, really powerful because nothing can get you down because you're like, oh, no. This is who I am. This is what I think about myself. And it can also change when little things happen. I got 2 parking tickets last month in 1 week. I'm not proud of it. They started street sweeping where I live by the beach, once on Tuesdays, once on Wednesdays, and I got 2 parking tickets in 1 week. I got the 2 parking tickets. I was not thrilled about it, but I just looked at it like, oh, okay, I'm helping the city of Santa Monica stay more beautiful. 5 years ago, if this would have happened to me, I would have freaked the fuck out because my self-concept was, I'm always getting unexpected bills. I have the worst luck. The world is against me. I can't remember important things like moving my car. My brain is broken. What's wrong with me? That would have been a 2-day tailspin at least. But now it's like, am I inconvenienced by paying these 2 parking tickets? I think it's like $200. Yeah, I am. The good news is that my self-concept is sculpted and chiseled enough that I can be inconvenienced and it's not a big deal. Another beautiful part about your self-concept is all the garbage and the space that is taking up our energy in our self-concept, in our beliefs that I don't belong, I'm not good enough, all of those things, we clear that shit out so that you have room for all the good stuff that's going to come in, that's going to fuel your growth. Another example of how your self-concept dictates the results in your life is that if your self-concept is, I don't know how to make money as an entrepreneur, You experience yourself as someone who doesn't make money and you experience that versus you can decide, I make $25,000 a month starting right now. And at every opportunity, you lovingly conduct yourself as someone who does that. I say lovingly conduct because it's really, really important when we're creating a new self-concept, or maybe this is the first time in your life you've ever sculpted your self-concept, that we lovingly guide our brain back with the same energy as if a toddler walked in the room carrying a machete. If a 3-year-old walked in carrying a huge knife, you wouldn't be casual about grabbing that toddler and removing the knife from the toddler's hands immediately. But when our brain comes in with some really crappy thoughts, a lot of times you'll be like, I'll get to that later. Or sometimes we'll even sit there and we'll listen to the brain like, really? And we'll have our whole conversation with it, instead of lovingly and fiercely being like, nope, and taking it away. Our job is to show our brain and give it the evidence it needs so that it feels and believes into your new self-concept. Our brains are like puppies, and we love puppies. We're never going to be mean or cruel to a puppy, but sometimes puppies pee inside on the rug more than one time. It happens more than once. When that happens, we say, no, puppy, we go outside. Like, we don't look at the puppy and say, hey, we go to the potty outside. Okay, you got it? And it's the same thing when it comes to our self-concept. You can create a great self-concept and your brain, but then your brain could be like, that doesn't feel true, doesn't feel true. Now, that is just your brain, the conscious brain and your ego trying to hold on to your old self-concept, 100% normal. But that is not your highest self right there. We know that it will require a lot of encouragement and cuddles, just like that puppy when it comes to your brain and sculpting your self-concept. So on the 52nd time when the puppy pees on the rug, we're like, no problem, let's try it again. And we keep teaching it until it learns. And it is the same thing with our brain and our self-concept. Your self-concept is with you all the time. Like, you're a parent, whether or not you're parenting, right? You are a mom or you're a dad, wherever you go. And it's the same thing with your new self-concept. Even when you're not feeling it 100% of the time, that is still who you are. Like, on a cloudy day, you might not know where the sun is and you might not see it, but it's there. You're not going to go and start Googling, did the sun disintegrate? It's the same thing with your self-concept. When you're sculpting your new self-concept, it's just like you're working out. These are going to be muscles that you have never used before. There is going to be some resistance. It's not going to be like, okay, great, I did this self-concept and now it's done. This is a practice. This is something that you want to be aware of. When you're sculpting your self-concept, you want to ruthlessly anchor your identity to how it is already true. This is where having a coach can come in clutch. I help you find the evidence, because a lot of times your ego, your brain unintentionally cockblocking ourselves from seeing all the evidence that is there. So find the concrete evidence. Look at the self-concepts that you want to believe about yourself and know that the evidence is there and that it already exists. I want you to look aggressively and fiercely. And if there isn't evidence yet, keep looking. You can also add to your self-concepts, I'm learning how to ... I am in the process of, or I am creating a blank. The self-concept that I embody is the secret to my success. And I choose to believe that I am the best. This is an overpromise to myself about how I show up in the world and how I deliver to my clients. I believe that I'm the best life coach in the world. And I believe that I am the best at what I do, and no one else can coach and have the impact that I do. And the more that you embody your self-concept, whatever that is, the more that it will be true. Some of my self-concept for myself is I always make the best decisions. I am capable. I have impeccable timing. I go first. I lead by example. I am making my dreams come true right now. I create safety inside me. That's one that I love, love, love. I am an example of what's possible. I don't have to do it perfectly. I only need to be present. When I speak my truth, the world listens and gets a little bit brighter and better. Speaking my truth sets other people free too. When I'm being myself, I create safety for other people to be themselves too. Those are just a few examples of self-concepts that I have about myself. When you find yourself in the lack or back into an old, self-concept, that's totally okay. This is when you use the tool of yeah, but I'm learning how to new self-concept here. Your only job is to come back to the present moment and then connect to what is already awesome about yourself. Instead of saying that you're bad at something, say that you are learning something. When you are sculpting your self-concept, bring it into the present as much as possible. You can add on the end right now, like the example I gave you, I'm making my dreams come true right now. Or you could add already, like I am already a $1 million plus entrepreneur, or I am already the president of the PTA. Whatever it is that you are aspiring to, you can do that. It is your job to find all of the evidence that it's true. And I can guarantee that you will find that it is true, even if it's not completely, okay, I've never made $1 million before. Have you made $1 before? Okay, then you know how to make money. Do you see the connection there? We ladder it up. Your self-concept is who you choose to be. It's how you choose to show up for your life. It's the essence you hold as you make your decisions, take your actions, and speak your words. You can plow your way through this trying to find some loophole, but there is none. There is only one thing to do, and it is to radically surrender to who you are and who you want to be. You are here to be a star, but you can only get that through the experiment of being you. Only you have the power to reclaim your self-concept, and only you have the power to create more joyful and effective ways of being you. The reason why I wanted to share this is because a lot of you think that it is the external actions that will give you the results that you desire, or you think that you just need to believe more or feel super confident and empowered, but it really is an inside job of cleaning out the clutter, making space, taking out the I'm not enough and I suck, and making space for the belief I'm fucking brilliant with money. And that is one of the biggest things I help my private coaching clients with, is making that decision to commit to who they want to be and to help them learn how to create the confidence and clarity they need now to get started, because that comes from you, not external circumstances. And my process in Perfectionism Rewired Accelerator. You are centering your identity on your possibilities instead of your limitations. I've done the hard work and taken out the guesswork to give you frameworks backed by neuroscience and have 100% client success rate. Proven to work even for the most type A, high-strung, stubborn, control freak perfectionists. In the first 30 days alone, you'll possess a quiet confidence, so secure in yourself and your achievements. Your self-compassion will go up at least 250%. So if you want to save yourself years of trial and error, go to CourtneyLoveGavin.com/accelerator today, or just click the link in the show notes to check out the Perfectionism Rewired Accelerator.